Hello guys, welcome. Thank you very much, Gordon. Actually, what a presentation from Dave and Rich. And of course, we start with the, another one. I just try to put the bar, just keep the bar in here. They made it perfect. So today I just try to prepare for you a little bit South Point, but it will be a bit complicated for us. So I don't want to sugarcoat anything. I just try to genuinely share all my, perspective from the C-level experience. And so generally I'm making my speeches. I'm both lawyer and engineer. So if I join any speech in the rooms filled with the lawyers, I generally said that. I'm a technology engineer, so I want to put that hat. So if you don't have an idea about this kind of things, I am here. I am the expert. So today, I want to take off both my hands, this engineer and lawyer. I want to share my experience and insights from different perspective, from investor and the business leader perspective. Because in today's, we've got lots of technical problems and we just try to figure it out. But after all, even in the first step, even the basic stage, we have lots of problems going on in security, privacy, data protection, digital trust, whatever, think about. There are lots of keywords. So let's start together. Why cybersecurity needs C-suite attention today? Actually, I started my career in PwC, KPMG, then Grant Thornton, so I can define myself as an advisor. Inside of me, I'm still a little bit advisor. So if you're working in that area, anybody in here working as an advisor or consultancy sector? Oh, one hand. Not too much. Then let me share my insights from there. Even you're a junior or in a senior level, you generally need to sit together with the C-level people at the same table and need to share your insights. So they generally trying to force you to edge and ask you very creative questions. Most probably there is no answer on the stage. So you need to be always so preventive, so active, so updated for everything. So when you give any answers, their questions about security, data protection, or the digital trust, you know that we generally find these kind of keywords around the world. 5 years ago, digital transformation, and then cloud computing, and then IoT, blockchain, right now AI. Every year, we've got a bubble gum, and everybody likes to chew it. So, if they ask any questions to you, after all, if you want to enhance anything in their infrastructure or their individual systems, I mean that the sources, if you ask about the budget, they never wants to give it to you. They always saying, yeah, of course, we want to enhance it. Of course, we can put this program, but don't ask for the money. We don't have the money for that. We've got lots of prioritizing about business stuffs. So I think the first thing, we generally think about that, especially in the C-level. They always thought that, cybersecurity is for the cybersecurity teams, for the IT teams. They can figure out this kind of problems. But after all, especially lastly in 3 years, they put lots of different legislation into force in EU. We called them, data protection legislation. Of course, GDPR we have. But after all, Cybersecurity Act, Digital Services Act, Data Governance Act. Right now, if anyone around here among with us today from financial sector, DORA on the table. So we've got lots of legislation. So it's non-negotiable. Nobody can, resist from the compliance part. So that is why lots of C-level right now convince to give lots of budgets for the security part. So that is why C-suite we can get this C-suite attention. And I don't like to say that because legislation or this kind of regulation things never needs to be a force point for these kind of sectors like technology sector, healthcare sector, or financial sector. But it's always happening like this way. If we continue, that especially last 1 year, we talked about AI. All different panels, all different conference, all different events. We just talk about AI. And after, I am the IAPP chair, so I hate to say that. Is there anyone in the room? Lawyer? Nobody I. I'm really happy. I can say whatever I want. So IAPP created a new certification. They called it AI Governance Certification. And after all, suddenly, lots of privacy lawyers turns very fastly an AI governance expert. We just try to explain them. It is not new because if you're in your life, if you have been working at any of these professional services, I don't know, most probably since 20 years, we are calling it IT governance. And we did this risk management approaches, we prepared these KPIs, whatever, think about. There are lots of different standards, frameworks, and legislative needs. And all these requirements doesn't mean that you can fit with any technology they are creating right now. So, but it suddenly happens like this way. So today, if you sit together, any regulation team, they generally trying to give you some insights about DORA. They explain because the legislation says that, this domain, this article is coming like that. If you don't do that, you got this kind of fines and penalties. So I think we generally break the barrier between business departments and the IT and the security. Generally, they think that we broke it. But I'm sorry, we couldn't achieve that. We couldn't break all these barriers between us. They just think about that. They could understand each other, but I'm sorry, they could not. And if I turn back AI, because AI, one of the most popular, emerging tech. But lately, everybody just saying that generative AI, transformational AI, repetitive AI, general AI, it's just like the cake, blackberry cake, the strawberry cake, but everything is cake at the same level. So they just try to explain it in a different perspective. But if you look at this survey, and lately, lots of professional services, lots of researcher companies just trying to prepare lots of different surveys because they need your data to create some new frameworks and standards. It's like a loop. So it shows that we're expecting some investment, some evolution, some innovation in AI till the 2060, but all this expectation just happening today. So they are thinking that it's just happening till the 2030. So it means that everything is going very fast, it's just running, and with this kind of static legislation, we just try to reach these dynamic technologies. And is it possible? I think it's not possible because every day we are talking about how they can enhance their risk management systems. And in these risk management systems, because the legislation gives lots of requirements about that, they just try to describe what kind of AI implementation or what kind of integration got the risks. I mean, that different level of risks. So they don't have an answer for that, but they are saying that they are doing AI governance for us. So there is a word, I really like that. We tend to overestimate the effect of technology in the short run and underestimate the effect in the long run. So everybody is afraid about AI to use it. If you are working especially in security area, because generally security people don't say so much about AI because there are lots of gray area, but lots of people, like lawyers, really like to talk about it because it's really niche, so different area. So I think we now really overestimate AI, but in the long run, think about it, there are lots of risks and it's coming, but we're just focusing on, we are using ChatGPT. How fast we used to use ChatGPT? Is there anyone in the room version of ChatGPT? Oh my God, really? You should try it. It's good. So, how fast we used it every day. For example, think about it. I am not native, and we are every day sending, 100 mails, and just checking the grammar is not so easy for us. But ChatGPT always there for you, and always giving different advice, different options to you. Do you want to make it informal? Do you want to make it friendly? So there are lots of options. So there are lots of beneficial way to use AI, but after all, it's coming together with another risks too. So, the emerging tech, we are calling it emerging tech. Yeah, AI, one of the most popular one, but IoT still in our life, and quantum computing, of course, it's a little bit long run, but we need to forecast it. So what about that? In IoT, we are using lots of smart devices in our house. We are using smart cars. And when you add another device into your network, it means that you are introducing another jumping point. So in the quantum computing, we just try to create a new era, especially in the encryption area. So if you can use this encryption model, you can interrupt from financial system to healthcare system. And it means that you can change the data protection protocols too. So it is endless technology. There are lots of open endings still. And maybe we can focus on these industry players. Last night, we got a call, and so I want to share, I really like this example. I think everybody likes this Star Wars movie. And in Star Wars movie, they just try to give the background about the Force to us. It's a balance. If there is any light side, always coming another dark side too. If you have a technology on your hands, and this technology is a power of your background, of your infrastructure, maybe we can say, it means that if you want to enhance it, you need a villain in the city too. So we have a superhero right now, AI. But if AI create a superhero version or the power to us, it means that it's coming together with lots of threats and the risks like the villain into our life. This is normal. So when we got this conversation with lawyers, they generally said, stop AI, stop using it. It's really so risky. So we need to keep our data from it like that way. So it doesn't mean that. Think about it. Who can stop this technology without using it? They prepare lots of this kind of technology to us. And without using, we never stop that before. We cannot be an Amish in our life. We are using in our casual life every day. So I just try to say to everyone, don't hide it, adapt it. As a C-level people, they generally always ask, we want to use AI. They want to use AI to adapt their systems. Even Microsoft today, calling their systems co-pilot. We are not pilot. We are just co-pilot. So I think this is the key word in their technology. So as an investor, from the emerging tech opportunities and risks, lots of startups and scale-ups generally saying their products, it's AI-based. AI-based means that if you're a creator, if you put AI ingredients into your design, it means that it's AI-based. Actually, generally, it's AI-touched products, but they are calling it AI-based because it's a really good advertisement for that. So C-level people needs to be aware this kind of problems because they are buying lots of new products. They are putting their money, especially to make their AI integration in secure way or data protection, privacy part, because legislation put lots of requirements about that. But they need to question it. How many people think that in the room right now, they've got a cybersecurity expert or professional on their advisory board of their companies? Do you think you have a cybersecurity expert on the advisory board? Oh God, there's no hand. So this is so obvious that because right now, especially in the companies, on the advisory board, there are generally more than 60 the age, average more than 60 or 70 sometimes. And they're always thinking that we need to resist it. Yeah, AI is important, but we are people. We don't want to touch it. Of course, people really so important. Yes, we are individuals. Yes, we are in the loop right now. But AI is coming very fastly. So the mindset, the approach, and understanding the future is everything. And we have 3 different models right now. As we talked about a little bit, Star Wars movie, let's jump in another movie. Terminator. So right now, actually, there are 3 different models if you want to integrate AI into your systems. The first one is human-in-the-loop model. Today, we are using it. As an individuals, people are still decision makers, and we are just trying to use AI to support our decision-making approaches. But the next step, most probably in 5 years, we will face with this kind of technologies, human on the loop. It means that we just oversight AI decisions. So it means that it is coming with another risks together. We just try to train AI because I think everybody knows that we are calling it generative AI because we can train this data, because in this century we just created very dirty, very bad data, and so we just try to teach this AI. Please be aware about bias. And of course, diversity is really important. Don't make it. Don't say anything about the skin color or don't say anything about the religion. Even don't talk about the football teams to you supporting. So we just try to teach AI being so fair. But this human on the loop model means that we will have another problem in the very near future. And the last one, it's Terminator. Human out of the loop model. It means that we are not there. AI can do everything on its own. And as the last sentence in here, this creates potential risks if something goes wrong and there is no human oversight. So we will see this feature. I think we will see this feature in our lifetime because it's running and just running. With this legislation, we just try to catch it. Creating a cyber resilient culture in the organization. You know what? If you join this kind of conferences, I'm sorry I'm saying it, the blonde ladies generally talking about the awareness training and of course governance part. They never touch the technical, backgrounds. If they just focusing on the, governance and training or just InfoSec part. I don't want to put me in this position, but of course I want to share that. We just try to implement or integrate like this kind of emerging tech in our companies. But if we put out of this, IT and security departments, generally, finance, IT, legal, think about, there are lots of different departments touching these technologies. If you don't teach the principles about AI, technology, these people couldn't understand anything. Let me give one example to you. I think I can give this example with the brand because they published it on the newspaper. From IBM, one of their workers just shared with ChatGPT they faced with some problems from security background. And after one of these people asked that to ChatGPT, what should we do? We face with this kind of security problems in our company. And I'm giving you a little bit details, even the, answer. And after all, just in 3 days, they attacked more than 3,000 different hackers. Think about it. If you don't give these business employees this kind of principles, if they cannot understand how this ChatGPT-ish, this kind of AI-based model work, and after all, it means that you open all your company to all different kind of vulnerabilities. It doesn't mean that if you give these people, monthly or weekly or this awareness training, even though it means nothing, because technology is not waiting for the people. Oh, learn it, please. Learn this cybersecurity awareness. Sure, of course. Change your password. Yes, perfect. Never working like this way. We need to accept that there are no human errors right now. And it can be more clever than us sometimes. We are still human beings. Sometimes we lose our attention. Sometimes we are not so much focusing on anything. But AI is always awake. No needs to sleep. No needs to eat. No needs to drink something. So train people is really important. And this year I gave these examples on very different panels. Maybe you heard it before, but I liked it, so I want to share it with you. It's coming from Finland. The country just try to train their public systems. That their senior people from the government's hands because they don't want to put these old people on the bench because on their casual life, daily routine, they are using AI technologies like on the, traffic lamps or the, shopping center everywhere. So just try to train these old people from the government's hand. I think this is a perfect example. Most probably we will see lots of different implementation or the examples, our daily life in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years. So I think Finland's example is really important. In Ireland, all over the Europe, or whoever think about and putting this legislation for these people, they need to train not just employees in the corporate companies, because in our daily life, everyone touching this kind of technology, so they need to train these people too. After all, this adaptation going to garbage. I'm just saying adaptation because of that, because we are not just young people. We are not just corporate employees. There are lots of old people too in our life. Our grandparents, our mothers, fathers, whatever. Think about it. Sky is the limit. There are lots of people. And they need to be in line with this kind of life and the casual things in the life too. So I think all governments needs to focus on that. And if they will use AI, leveraging their feature, they need to train all these people, not just from corporate perspective, from daily routine perspective too. And adapting security by design mindset. I think this is the key word. Yes, we talked about lots of fancy things about AI, emerging tech, cybersecurity, but adapting security by design is everything. We, especially in data protection, are calling it privacy by design, and it's a part of GDPR too. And they are just trying to explain it by that way. In the past, they just try to use and collect all the personal data with like an Excel kind of very basic way. But right now, they just trying to advise us, make it automize. So we just try to use lots of these kind of solutions. And so security by design means that integrate security into your product, into your corporate company, whatever you have, into the DNA. So I think there are two different aspects in there, because if you put security at the beginning fast, it means that it's a homogeneous for all your employees and all people could understand, and it's a reflex coming to your mind. Because especially some legislations like data protection coming into force very lately in different countries, and they just try to adapt it. I am from Turkey, and Turkey just met with this legislation in 2016. Before 2016, they don't have any idea about privacy. You can say whatever you want. For example, I can say my ID number in here. I can share my religion. Nobody cares about it. There is no legislation, no restriction, no requirements about that. So after all, after you gave this kind of requirements to these people, it's not a reflex. They just try to put it on it. It's just you baked your cake, just try to put the sugar on side of it. And sometimes it means that, so cringy, you cannot do that. So that is why there are lots of data breaches. Every week, you can see lots of different kind of data breaches. So that means actually it's coming from that the same way. So security by design means that, especially if you decided to use AI integration into your system. I am an investor of software companies, and right now you're hiring software guys, and they don't need to start at the beginning, because with AI you can get lots of different patches. So they just try to merge everything and put different ingredients to change the product's approach. So if you put this security into the DNA of your products, it means that you can ask and get the answer in a proper way. So especially in here, the case with the AI, maybe we can say, yes, I don't like so much talking about compliance part. And if you ask me, ISO 27001, COVID-9, or whatever, there are lots of this kind of frameworks. Now we've got another ISO standards for AI too. Is it enough? Not enough. But if we don't have this kind of frameworks, even though, it means that we've got no frames, so we need to put a line, put a bar, and create some KPIs for the products too. So these are important still to us. And maybe the perfect example is NIS2, you know that. It's a perfect package part into this legal revolution reform package, especially in EU. And the tech giants, watch out for AI-driven startups and AI startups. If you are working in a giant tech companies like Microsoft or IBM or Google, they're generally trying to focus on what kind of AI-based startups coming into markets, and they are just doing the same ability or the same functions with them. Sometimes they just try to buy them, but sometimes they just try to kill them. So this is a savage market right now. So if you are planning a startup, an AI-driven startups, you need to be very careful about that. So it means for you, especially, an opportunity, but after all, it means a big risk. And prioritizing cyber security investments at the C-level imperative. Actually, it's so obvious that if you've got money in your company, you need to prioritize something. In the past, maybe putting the money, especially the customer-face solution, yeah, this is the best thing. Especially if you want a short-term turn back or income, it was perfect. But right now, every day, everybody, lots of C-level, just going on the TV shows and focusing on the technology part, and they like to share their insights. So it means that in the next 5 years, we will see lots of C-level just talking about technology and AI. I like it. So welcome to our environment. This play is very good for us, but this is very new, especially some of these C-level people. So that one, this V-shape AI shapes us from a Gartner event last year. I liked it. I used it a lot this year, but I just tried to convert it like that. Also, we shape security trends, and security trends shapes emerging technology. Because we are facing lots of security problems, threats, and risks every day, and with these legislations, lawyers really likes to talk about it. But after all, we are changing, we are shaping this environment, this security, and of course the technology environment. Thank you very much for listening to me. And if you have any question, I am here.